if you're a snowflake, you're going to want to turn this off, because I'm about to hurt your feelings. You know, something that happens every single day is I get tons and tons of messages in my inbox. People looking for answers. People wanting to know why. Wanting to know how they can get out of their current situation. People wanting a way out. And I share what knowledge I have with people. I do everything I can to bless them with the knowledge that I have been blessed with. But a pattern that I'm noticing is that everybody has an excuse. Everybody has a reason for where they are. Everybody has a problem that they don't know how to solve. But if you look at the root of most of these people, most of their problems, you'll find it is no more than a self-prophesized excuse. I'm going to tell you something that you don't want to hear. And that is that you are where you are because of you. The choices that you make every day make up your life. And it is up to you to make the right choices. And people say, well, you don't know my life. You don't know my past. My parents had me do drugs when I was a kid. I didn't have a chance. Or my daddy was an alcoholic. I didn't have a chance. My mama abused me. I was sexually abused. I didn't have a chance. Bullshit. You have a chance. It is once you are free, once you are on your own, once you are out in this world, everything that happens to you is because of choices you made. If you have children and what they're doing is a burden on your life, you have to remember you raised them. You brought them into this world. People say, well, I have problems. You don't know what happened to me. You don't know what got me where I am. Yeah, I do. I do know. What got you where you are is the choices that you made to get you there. Your life might suck. You might be in a position that you don't want to be in. You might be at a job you don't enjoy. You might be somewhere that you don't want to be. But you are there because you choose to continue to be there. If you are on drugs, strung out, on dope, sitting out here smoking weed, drinking, getting high every day and complaining about where you are in your world, get out of here. You have to make a conscious effort to make the correct choices that are required to get you where you want to be. You can't just continue to make the bad choices that you've made and expect everything to just work out. It's not how it works. Welcome to the real world, snowflake. I grew up with an alcoholic father. I know how it feels to lay in bed, and when you hear the door open at 3 o'clock in the morning, lay in there under the covers and hope and pray that he doesn't come in there and snatch your ass up and beat you just because he feels like it. I know how that feels. I know what it feels like to be in a home that was so cold, had no heat in the dead of the winter, so cold that while under blankets trying to get warm, you could see your breath. And then going outside and building a fire so that I'd have some heat, and then have my father come home and get on to me because I had come up with a way to get warm. And then break a rake over my head just because he felt like being an asshole and I was the person within reach. I know how that feels. So don't make excuses and blame your parents and blame your friends. Blame the person that screwed you over, the person that stole from you. It ain't their fault. You put yourself in that situation. You put yourself in that place, and you allowed someone to get over on you. You know, I was bullied in school profusely. I dealt with bullying so extreme that I was literally doused with gasoline and chased with lit Roman candles, only to wake up wishing the next day that one of them had hit me. And when I was younger, I used to blame the bully. I used to say, how can people be this cruel? How can people be this mean? How can children do this to other children? I blamed it on them. But as I got older, I found something that no one told me when I was a kid. And that was, I was allowing that to happen by how I was presenting myself to the world. I put myself in that situation. No, you can't choose where you grow up. You can't choose who your parents are. You can't choose what happens to you as a child. But you have a choice once you surpass that time frame. Once you are in the now, once you are here where you're on your own. You're out here on your own. You might have kids, you might have a family, you might have bills to pay, but you are here because of you. And once you get to that point, you come to realize that every single choice that you make in your life, whether it be small or large, directly affects where you are going in your world. I can't help that my father was an angry drunk whenever we were younger. He does a lot better now, God bless him. He's a great man with a great heart. But he made bad choices. He turned to the bottle for his answers instead of turning to himself for a solution. And there's a difference there. Don't look for answers. Look for a solution. And the solution is buried deep within the catacombs of your own spirit. We all have problems in this world. We all have darkness that we have to face. But if you blame the darkness for you not turning the light on, you are being a fool. It is your choice to leave the light on or leave it off. It is your choice to stay in that bad relationship that you're not happy in. If he's beating you, if he's hitting on you, if he's treating you wrong, you choose to stay there. Your excuses about the CDs you left in his truck are just an excuse. You don't have a reason to stay. You come up with reasons to stay. And then you're unhappy whenever you when you have to explain that the black eye was just, oh, I fell. You put yourself there. If you're in a situation, in a relationship where she is mentally abusive, she screams at you, she hollers at you, she complains about every little thing you do. Every time you look at another female, she gets jealous. And you're not happy. You put yourself there. That is your world. It is your fault. Like I said, we can't choose where we come from. We can't choose who raises us. But we can choose where we go from there. You say, well, you don't understand. And you're right. I might not. But what I do understand is that I've had excuses. I've been in places where I blamed my surroundings. I blamed the people in my life. And it wasn't until I realized that people aren't the problem. My view on the problem was the problem. Your situation is not your problem. Your perception of where you are is your problem. So the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit around and allow the problems that you have created in your own world to fester and boil up and become something more than what they are. If you argue with your spouse every day, if you argue with your parents every day, if you're fighting with your friends, if you're on Facebook dealing with drama each and every day, if you think that it's suddenly going to change and things are going to get better just because you got fed up with it, I got some news for you. Nothing is going to change until you change. You have to be excited about change. You have to be the change that you know is required. Don't look to your spouse and tell them you have to become a better person. You have to treat me better, and you have to say nicer things to me. If that is who that person is, don't expect them to change, because they don't. Just like an abusive relationship, women, you hear them all the time say it, and it is the dumbest thing that will ever come out of their mouth. And that is, well, he was just drunk. He didn't really mean it. You know, he said he was sorry. He promises he won't hit me no more. The lies you tell yourself are what concretes you in your situation. They are what solidifies you in this moment. So, what are you going to tell yourself? Because if you continue to preach the lies that you have preached, you will continue to live the lie that you have been living. He's not going to change. She's not going to change. It's up to you. Just like with my father. Yes, he was an alcoholic. And a dangerous one at that. I know I've been dragged out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the next day went to work with blood pouring out of my ears. Because my eardrums were busted. For no other reason than he felt like it. I know how that feels. Alright? But you know what? It was my choice to stay there. It was my choice to continue to allow that to happen. You say, well, I don't have anywhere to go. What am I supposed to do? Just leave. You have feet. You might have a vehicle. You might even be blessed to have $5 in your pocket, because when I left, I didn't have anything. No money. I left and I went to a state I had never been before without a premeditated destination, and I had no idea what was going to happen. I just knew that something was going to happen that was different than this situation, and if nothing can be worse than the situation you're in right now, then a change cannot be worse. Because see, that's the thing about change. If your situation that you're currently in is not where you want to be, then changing something cannot possibly make it any worse. It can only make it better. And look, you might make a bad choice. You might end up going to a place that you shouldn't be at. You might associate with people you're not supposed to associate with. Look, that happens. It's life. You know, a wise man once said, shit happens. Man up. Grow up. Cowboy up. Whatever you need to tell yourself. To understand that the things that happen in your world are direct correlations of how you perceive yourself and how you look at the world. But don't you dare make an excuse on the behalf of someone else or embed fault into the life of someone else to justify where you are. If you're on drugs, you're doing that because there's something in your life that is missing that you are trying to numb. Same thing about alcohol. Same thing with cigarettes. Same thing with eating badly. Same thing with drama. Whatever it is that you're suffering through in your life, you have to realize that what you go through, you grow through. What I saw the other day, someone said that your mess is your message. See, I relieve my pain by sharing with y'all. I relieve my stress by sharing my story. Because I know that there's somebody out there who has went through something similar, and hearing this could possibly open their eyes to a better future. Because I know that pain bears value. But I'm wise enough to understand that pain is a self-fulfilled prophecy. Where you are is because of the choices you have made. Where you are going is because of the choices you are making. Where you have been doesn't matter. It simply prepared you for today. It allowed you to be the person that you are in the moment, so that you are capable of handling what is coming. Now, if this video hurts your feelings, I warned you in the beginning. Snowflakes aren't welcome. But here's the thing. I bring heat whenever I come in, when I go live. The messages that I share bear truth. And that's something that people don't want to hear a lot of times. You want to hear somebody say, "Oh, it's okay. It'll be all right. You know, the good Lord will take care of everything. It'll be good. Everything gonna be all right. Just turn to Him. Give it all away. Don't worry about nothing." That ain't how the real world works. In the real world, you say, "This is my situation. This is my problem. This is where I am." And then you figure out how to change it. You don't sit on your butt, smoke weed, watch binge on Netflix, and hope that things are going to change. You get off your ass and change them. So I'm not going to leave you on a low note. I'm not going to leave you thinking, "Man, damn, look at my life. Like, God, like he's right. Like, I have put myself here." You have. And you continue to. But I want you to understand that you have the ability to change it. You have the power that is required to turn your life into something that you know is worthwhile. Find purpose in your day. You have 86,400 seconds in a day. How are you going to spend them? And better yet, how are you going to invest them? Because we spend most of our time spending time. Invest in yourself. Invest your time. And be the change that is required to make the change that is required to bring you joy. I love you all, and I thank you for listening to today's morning motivation. Don't forget, join me for episode number 16 at 10 a.m. of Stay Humble, Hustle Hard Live. You're all a blessing. Thank you so very much. Hey, by the way, be the blessing for somebody. Share this message. Because somebody out there needs to hear this today. Bless someone. Thank you.